gonna start out with a beautiful crab cake using fresh lump crab. We're gonna place that on a bed of arugula with a spicy remoulade on top. Our entree tonight, we're gonna do a filet mignon with some charred asparagus and a beautiful peppercorn cream sauce to go over the top of your steak. And the little cherry on top tonight, we're gonna make a creme brulee. It's one of the wife's favorites. Super easy to do, but absolutely delicious. All right, now that your water is starting to heat up, get your oven preset to 300 degrees. We're gonna add 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream into a pot. So you have a couple options for your vanilla beans. You can use fresh vanilla beans. Those are the more expensive option. Vanilla bean paste, which is like the medium option. Vanilla extract, which will give you a vanilla flavor. It's just not gonna be as decadent as like the real vanilla that you're gonna get from the paste or the bean pods themselves. I prefer the vanilla paste personally. It gives you a lot of that great vanilla flavor. Plus you get those little brown vanilla bean specks in there. And I just love that in my creme brulee. We're gonna use 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste and add it to our heavy cream. We're now gonna put this onto our stove. We're gonna bring this up to a low simmer. Do not let this cream boil. I actually haven't made this for my wife a whole bunch, but creme brulee is one of her favorites. What we want to do here is separate our egg yolks from our egg whites. We're gonna put whites in the smaller bowl. You can discard these or you can save them to have like a egg white omelet or something like that in the morning. We're just not gonna use them on the recipe today, but save the egg yolks. And that's what we're gonna be using. You need 4 of them, 4 egg yolks. So you have 2 little eggshell halves and then pass the yolk back and forth very softly. All the whites will fall off. Just keep going until it comes all the way off. And then take your egg yolk, put it into your bowl. Make sure you're keeping an eye on that cream. You do not want it to boil and you don't want it to burn. All right, so now we have 4 egg yolks in here. We're gonna add in 1/2 cup of white sugar, a pinch of salt, and we're gonna whisk this. When you start out, it's gonna be a bright yellow color. You're gonna start whisking. All of that sugar and salt is going to dissolve into these egg yolks. After a few minutes, your egg yolks are gonna start to turn a very pale yellow color. These egg yolks have fully broken down. They have incorporated the sugar and the salt in there, and these are ready. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go through a process called tempering. This is a very important process. So what you have in this bowl is raw egg yolk. Raw egg yolk, when it gets hot, likes to cook. You have to temper it so you can bring up the temperature of the egg yolks without them cooking. All right, so we have our hot cream here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add about 1/4 of our hot cream with our vanilla bean paste into our egg yolks, and we're gonna mix it in with our whisk. Go ahead and mix that in. And the reason why you don't want to whisk this fast is because when you're whisking, what you're doing is you're incorporating air into your mixture. And we don't necessarily want this to be very airy. This is going to be a nice, delicious, thick custard for our creme brulee. So just nice and smooth. And now the last of it. So we have our creme brulee mixture here ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and set this off to the side. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a baking sheet that has kind of a higher wall on it. If you just have a regular cookie sheet, it could work, but try to find something with a little bit higher of a side wall. Place your creme brulee ramekins in the pan. We're gonna take our creme brulee mixture and fill up our ramekins. You wanna fill them almost to the top. Now we're gonna take that pot of water we put on to boil earlier, and we're gonna fill up the surrounding area of this pan with water, about halfway up on your ramekins. All right, now we're very carefully gonna take this and put it into our oven that is preheated at 300 degrees, and these are gonna sit in there for about 30 to 40 minutes. What would probably be a little bit smarter of an idea is take the pan with your creme brulees and put them in the oven and then pour the hot water into it. Hey, you live and you learn. All right, our creme brulees just came out of the oven. You can tell they're done. When you tap on them, they have a jiggle through the center of them, almost like a Jell-O. These took almost exactly 30 minutes. Now that we've taken them out of the heat, we're gonna immediately transfer these into the fridge and we're gonna let them sit for at least 2 hours. Another thing you can do, if you're planning this in advance, you can make these the night before, put them in the fridge so you don't even have to mess with them the day of. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna crack open 1 egg. Get that into a bowl, we're gonna whisk that up. Once we have the egg broken up, we're gonna go ahead and add in a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. If you don't have a zester, just use the small side of a cheese grater. Just be careful, you don't wanna get too much of the rind. You just want the bright yellow part. So this should look like a dull lemon once you're done. All right, we're gonna set that off to the side for a second. We wanna chop up about 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. Add that into our bowl. Add 1½ teaspoons of seasoning. You can use Old Bay seasoning if you have it. I'm using this Chef Paul Seafood Magic seasoning. Let's mix it up. Oh, it smells so good. We're now gonna add 8 ounces of lump crab meat. Now a 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs. We wanna mix this together gently, but thoroughly. Now we're gonna mold our crab cakes. I'm gonna use a 1/2 cup measuring cup. It's in a circle, makes for an easy mold. So you just wanna lightly press this into your mold, just to really fill all the nooks and crannies in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're gonna take this, put it on top of some parchment paper, and repeat. We're gonna take our crab cakes, we're gonna put them in the fridge for about 30 minutes to chill. Next up, we're gonna throw together a spicy remoulade sauce. We're gonna start with about 1/2 cup of mayo, 2 tablespoons of fresh cut parsley, 1 tablespoon of a cayenne pepper hot sauce, 1½ teaspoons of drained and chopped capers, 1 clove of chopped garlic, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, pinch of salt, pinch of fresh ground black pepper, and the juice of 1/2 lemon. Make sure you strain it so you don't get those seeds in there. All right, let's mix this up. And there's our spicy remoulade. Set this off to the side. All right, so now we're ready to prepare our crab cakes. We're gonna cook it on this flat cast iron. You can cook it on a baking sheet if you want as well. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of Pam on it. We have our crab cakes here. We're gonna transfer these onto our cast iron. So you know that broil setting on your oven you always wanna use, but you don't know what to use it for? This is what you use it for. You wanna take your rack and move it up so these will be about 8 inches away from the top of the oven. While your oven's heating up, we're gonna go ahead and melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Take your melted butter and brush it over the top of your crab cakes. Now we're gonna put these in the oven anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. Keep an eye on these. As soon as they get golden brown on top and they are heated all the way through, we're gonna pull them out and serve them. Let's get our plate ready for our crab cakes. Take a small handful of fresh arugula. We're gonna juice 1/2 a lemon. Pinch of salt. We're gonna go ahead and toss this together. We've got our filet mignon here. We're gonna season both sides. Salt and pepper. You can take it and roll it on the seasoning that fell off the top of the steak. We're gonna get our cast iron heated up. All right, hot pan, oil. We wanna sear this for about 3 to 5 minutes per side and get a nice crust on it. Let's check it out. Let it cook for about another 5 minutes on this side. We're gonna add a couple cloves of garlic, some fresh rosemary, some fresh thyme. Now we're gonna roll this filet around and let it cook on the sides. Add 3 tablespoons of butter. Turn your heat off. We're going to go ahead and begin basting. We're going to let our steak rest for about 10 minutes. While that's resting, we're going to get our asparagus ready. A little bit of oil in your pan. Taking our asparagus and cut about 2 inches off at the bottom of each one. We want to get them completely covered in the oil and cook these on a high heat. We're going to come in with some salt, freshly ground pepper. Once your asparagus starts picking up some char, go ahead and turn the heat off. We're going to add in a tablespoon of butter, 1 small clove of garlic, go ahead and set your asparagus off to the side. Now we're going to start our peppercorn sauce. We're going to toast these up a little bit. Once your pepper's starting to get really nice and aromatic, go ahead and throw in about a tablespoon of butter. We're going to go on a medium-low heat now. We're going to add about 4 tablespoons of shallot. We're going to add 1 clove of thick cut garlic. We're going to add about 1 shot of brandy. All right, we're going to move it down to a simmer. We're going to add in about 1/4 cup of heavy cream, about 1/2 cup of reduced beef stock. If you're wondering what reduced beef stock is, regular beef stock, and I put it in a small pot and let it simmer for about an hour until it reduced by half. We're going to bring this up to a low simmer. Another pinch or 2 of your fresh ground black pepper. This is going to help with the development of the body of your sauce. You're going to have that toasted peppercorn that we started with, and then you're going to have that fresh peppercorn flavor as well. We're going to let this reduce down until it starts thickening up. All right, to finish our sauce off, a touch of lemon juice, fresh chopped parsley, heat off, and we're ready to go. Let's plate. Sprinkle a little sugar over the top. Make sure you spread that sugar across the entire surface. Dump off the rest, like that.